Hello, everyone. Get a lot of comments from people who say they like to do collage and mixed media, but don't have magazines to maybe make glue books or art journal pages. So I have a list here of some of the things that I use. It's not an entire list. There are other things. I'm going to blow through these as fast as I can. If you're trying to write things down, just pause the video. There's a little button down below that you can pause the video, write your list. I'm going to go through this pretty quickly. All right. So the first one is newspapers. Most people have newspaper. You can find images in newspaper, comics. I like to save words when I find some interesting words or phrases, that kind of thing. So I use newspapers a lot. I do get, I have some foreign language newspapers. They always are really interesting as well. Sometimes Chinese restaurants or Mexican restaurants will have magazines or newspapers in different languages. The big cities have community publications. And these are newspaper-like. They describe maybe restaurants in the area, hotels, things that are going to happen, events, things like that. And most large cities in America have something like this. You'll find them near newspaper, where you buy newspapers from the little box. A lot of times there'll be these publications next to them, and they're usually free. So I try to grab those if I come across them. Book pages. Book pages are great. I really like children's books for the illustrations, pictures, that kind of thing. Dictionaries. I like the text, but I like the little tiny pictures that you find in dictionaries as well. Encyclopedias are great for pictures. Textbooks, that kind of thing. You'll find all kinds of little photos or illustrations, that kind of thing. And don't forget the covers. There's usually a picture on the front and back of the covers. Children's books are really good for cute little illustrations. Children's activity books also have a lot of pictures. I like maze books and dot to dots. I like the way they look. More activity books. Textbooks. You know those textbooks you try to sell back to the store and they won't take them because they're old? What are you going to do with them? They have a lot of illustrations and pictures in them a lot of times. And if not, then use them for book text. Art books are really, really good for illustrations, pictures. Enough of that. So books are great. I love books. Calendars. Don't throw away your old calendars. Use the pictures. You bought those calendars because you liked something about the pictures in them. Use those pictures in your collage, your mixed media, your glue books. The desk calendars usually have cute little pictures on them. And the backs of your calendars, they usually show, they have the little pictures of all the pictures that are inside the calendars. So use those as well. And I like to just use parts of some of the calendars. So that's what I've done. Desk calendars, here's some more parts of calendars. I've cut large pieces apart for smaller bits. And I don't always have a huge amount of space, so I can use the large pictures or the small pictures. All right, calendars. Wrapping paper. You find any kind of wrapping paper with images, those are fabulous. Tissue papers, sometimes you can find tissue paper with great images as well. Joss paper. I've talked about Joss papers before. They are an Asian culture thing. They burn these Joss papers for their past loved ones. And they have great images and things on them. They're really, really good. Napkins. We all save napkins. We love those kinds of things. Use those as images. We've got them. That's what they're there for, usually. Photographs. All right. Photographs is a big one for me. I like to use, when I was living overseas, I took a lot of photographs, and it was a time when you had to copy them all out. I had photo albums all over the place. They were heavy. They took up a lot of space. I have since torn the photo albums apart and put them into photo boxes. I don't really need these photos anymore. I have scanned them. I have them saved. Now I have all these photos. What to do with all these photos? Do I throw them away? No. I cut them up and use these glossy photos in my art. It saves them from being thrown away. I've got my artistic photos. Sometimes I copy my photos off on just copy paper. So it's not really thick and it's not glossy. I use those. Family photos are really good. You can use the real photos. You can use copies of the photos. You can print them out on copy paper like this. Use that in your collage, your glue books. I also have copied family photos on book pages. It really adds an interesting twist to your photos. I like the looks of it, so I use that as well. Family photos, again, on regular copy paper. You can do them any size. It works really well. Photos, snapshots, family photos, vacation photos, the artistic photos, anything that you've got. All right. That's not supposed to be there. Printouts from the internet. Now, be careful of printouts, of printing things out from the internet. A lot of that stuff has copyrights on it. Graphics Fairy, she's on the internet. She has copyright images to use in artwork, whatever you want. She's got a lot of images, a lot of categories. You can find just about anything. They're all copyright free. You can copy those out, print them on regular paper, and use those in your artwork. I like to scan things, okay? Here's a good example of me scanning some matchbooks, some tickets, so that I could have them to use. Sometimes they're too thick to use. I like them a little bit thinner, so I have scanned them, put them, I keep copies of the scans so I can print these out and use these. I've also used three-dimensional things on the bed. I couldn't find those examples. Coins and keys and things that you wouldn't glue into a glue book or a collage. I just put the stuff on the bed of the scanner, scan it, and then I can print it out on paper and use those images. I also scan out newspapers, music sheets, and that kind of thing. So you can use those as well. The art to borrow from Stampington and Company, cut those out. They always have a lot of cool stuff. You can use those. You're not copying them, you're cutting them out, you're using them. Where am I? I've got a list here. Greeting cards. You can find a lot of greeting cards, note cards, Christmas cards that you've gotten in the mail. Cut out the images. Use those in your artwork. Here's some dancing chickens I thought was cute. Have to use it. It's a birthday card. Handwritten letters. I have got a lot of handwritten letters from my great grandparents. Of course, I don't want to cut those up, but if you find handwritten letters that don't really mean anything anymore, sure, they are really nice to have for collage and glue books. If you don't want to cut them up, scan them, copy them out. You've got the original letter, and then you can use the printout. I am here, so I'm not sure where this is on my list. Doodles, drawings, old artwork. These are some of my faces I have printed out here, and they're old. They're old artwork of mine, so they're fair game. I can print them out. I can use them again and again. Don't worry about cutting up. If you've got old artwork you really don't like, you're not really going to do anything with, cut it up. Use parts of it in your collages and stuff. All right. Here we get to littler bits. All right. Game pieces. I like to go to thrift stores and pick up games. Sometimes they don't have all the pieces in them, so they are fair game to tear apart. And sometimes I buy them just for pieces. So Monopoly money, the cards, the memory games, the little cards for that, the little token pieces. They're usually on cardboard or something. You can take them off the cardboard and use just the printed out little bits. Playing cards, flashcards, that kind of thing. I take these apart. They've got a lot of great images on them, especially the children's cards. The flashcards are great. Sometimes the cards are easily torn so that you have the fronts and the backs. Sometimes they're a little bit better fused and they're harder to get apart. I have found quite a few at the Dollar Tree that are pretty easy to tear apart so that they're a little bit thinner, easier to use in artwork. But I do like to use playing cards. And puzzle pieces. Also, you've seen me use. I take the backs off the thick cardboard bit. I just peel off that. It comes off pretty easily. And then you've got a really thin little bit to use in a glue book or in a collage. Okay, and then you've got this, so you can throw that away. You really don't need it. All right, so game pieces, playing cards. We've got stickers. We all buy these stickers. We've got sticker books. We've got tons and tons of stickers. We forget to use them. These are great in artwork, in glue books, in that kind of thing. Postage stamps. They have lots of great images on postage stamps. We have paper punches, die cuts. I know you all have cuddle-bugs or those kinds of things. Cut out some little images and use those on your pages. They're great little images. The store-bought ephemera. We all buy those packages of ephemera, the Tim Holtz people and all of that. Glue them in as images. Washi tape is great for images. They have all kinds of stuff on them. Use your washi tape up. All right. And now, where am I? Stamped images, embossed images. I like to just stamp things out, color them sometimes, cut them out so that I have them embossed on gold paper. It's very pretty. Sometimes I stamp in different colors. Sometimes I color it in. I stamp on book pages. I stamp on security envelopes. Sometimes I use them just stamped plain. You can stamp on tissue paper so you can see through the stamps. It's endless what you can do with stamped images. Get your rubber stamps out, start using them. Start using them as images to use in glue books and collage, art journal pages. They can be used in anything. Here I have a few little images from the children's activity books. You can find a lot of images there. This is a little thank you note card that I've torn apart for just the little images. This was a piece of a calendar, napkins, coloring books. This was on a notepad. Look around. You're going to find things. ATCs, the kind you color in, that kind of thing. You're going to find stuff that you hadn't thought about before. Let me get this pile over here. Cupcake wrappers, security envelopes, menus. You can find images on menus. I like the words. Sometimes on Chinese menus, you can find Chinese writing. You can use those. Maps are great. All kinds of different maps. They're great for backgrounds. They're great for images. I really like maps. Tickets. It can be anything with a number. I like the little tickets. I like the parking tickets. I like lottery tickets, receipts, tickets when you're standing in line. I love numbers. I just love numbers. The grocery store tickets. Fun stuff. Tickets are great. Love tickets. Where are we now? Scrapbook paper is fabulous for images. You can buy small pieces of scrapbook paper just for the images. We've got the paper pads that have images in them, or you can buy the big pieces of paper with the great images. You can buy paper singly if there's something on there that you think you might like. And this one's got quite a few different spots that I can use, plus handwriting, which I love. So scrapbook paper is great. Color books are fabulous. You can find different size color books. You can color it in, use it black and white. I have a little color book calendar that I've colored in a few of the things so that I can cut them out and put them in my collage. All right, so now we've got a broad category, and I've got a bunch of examples of stuff here. Packaging, bottle labels, that kind of thing. If you look around, you're going to find things that you wouldn't necessarily have thought of before. Here's some paper cups, all right, and they've got images on them. And I just wanted to demonstrate their paper. So very, very easy to cut up the paper cup. Lay it flat, use it in your art. You don't have to, you can take some of the thickness off. Sometimes they've got wax coating on them, but paper plates also sometimes have images on them. It's great to find things like that. This is a wine label. Those are gorgeous. Beer bottle labels. Packaging like beer holders sometimes have some really cool images on them. Chopstick wrappers. Valentines. Sometimes when you buy the children toys, they've got the pictures of all the different types, all the different ones that you can collect. Those are cute little images. You can use those. Here's, I don't know why I saved that. It's one of those scratch offs. Here's the Littlest Pet Shop. Again, little tiny images, but really cute little things. IKEA, instructions and warnings and that kind of thing. You can find in different languages. I love IKEA for their instructions and their warnings. They always have a lot of different languages. I love those. And I do like IKEA's instructions when they've got the little guy, and the screws and that kind of thing. I think those are hilarious. So brochures. If you go to an art museum, pick up one of the brochures, you'll have a couple of images probably on there. I found this at the car fix-em place, the car doctor. I asked if I could have one. I liked the little cars. I liked just the little everything. So I will cut this up and put it in my collage. Paper bags, if they've got any kind of pattern on them. I love those. I love to find those. Here's a recollections packaging. That's a great picture. This came in paper. It was a paper pack, cardstock paper. I can use this image someplace else. This came from a flower bag. Money wrap. Crayon wrappers. Candy wrappers, gum wrappers. I love the foils for that kind of thing. I'm always looking at packaging. Here's another paper label. I'm always looking at packaging. Here is my butter, and look at those little cows on there. And I have got 3 little cows. 2 of them have the barn in the background to cut up. This one had butter and toast and butter. So I'm always looking at packaging, especially food packaging. Look at this little unicorn. And I've got this unicorn here, this little Debbie. I've got a unicorn here, a unicorn there. I've got a unicorn mask. How could I throw that away? And another unicorn here. There's quite a bit of stuff just on this one piece of packaging. Cigar bands, embroidery floss holders, the little bands that hold embroidery floss. Look around. You're going to find things made of paper that you can use in your glue books, your collage, your art journal pages. You're going to see more than you realize when you start taking a look. Really look at your packaging. Packaging, they make it pretty so that you buy whatever it is. So they make it nice. There's usually something really cool on the packaging. Take a look at your bottles, all that stuff. So I hope I didn't go way too fast. I hope I gave you some suggestions on things to use that aren't magazines. And I'm going to be doing a 3-tier book with just images like these that aren't magazine images, just all in a 3-tier book. So hopefully I can get that done soon, and I can show you all what it looks like. Hope that this is helpful. Thanks for watching.